Here's a live look inside Huntsville City Council meeting happening right now. You can see folks at the podium speaking. Looks like it's public commenting at this point, but that meeting happening right now. Several key items on the agenda, such as next year's big city budget. And it's where we start tonight. Welcome to Fox 54 News at 6. I'm Kenesha Dees. The general fund, which pays for the city's departmental operations, would increase by almost 4%, jumping $13 million. That would make it a total of nearly $344 million. Here's how the bulk of that is allocated. Nearly a quarter of the funds, $80.6 million, goes to the police department, nearly $66 million to the fire and rescue team. The city is delegating more than $30 million for community groups through grants, and it aims to keep a reserve of 11.5%. What you might call a rainy day fund to cover unforeseen expenses. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo has more on what the council has planned for the next year.
The budget for the 2026 fiscal year is being decided right now, and local leaders are saying they hope it passes with no changes. Mayor Tommy Battle sent in a letter to the city council. To keep pace with Huntsville's growth, this budget directs resources to areas of greatest public benefit. Public safety remains our highest priority, with continued investment in police and fire services. We also emphasize economic development to attract new industry and provide quality jobs for our citizens. Some of that economic development includes roadway projects like District 1's Northern Bypass development. Councilman Bill Kling says that project is a major item that needs the funding.
That takes traffic strain off of the district I represent, as well as other central portions of the city also. And again, I think Northern Bypass, as well as the Parkway at 565 interchange expansion, are going to be very good as far as helping to alleviate traffic congestion in the city.
And it's not just going toward development.
The city's budget for next year is increasing by $13 million, bringing the total to almost $344 million. What's eating up nearly half of that? Just over $80 million is going to the Huntsville Police Department, while the fire department is getting $65 million. According to the city, that's because they have the largest number of employees of the city's 27 departments.
Sergeant Chris Jackson with Huntsville Police Department explained how they'd use the funding, saying in a statement to Fox 54, the proposed increase to our budget is largely tied to day-to-day operating costs and the addition of 10 new personnel positions. He added, overall crime in our city has decreased for the past 5 years, but keeping those rates low requires continuous work and consistent support. The city of Huntsville tells me the fire department would use its funding on tools, training, and support, with one new position opening up. But that's all dependent on tonight's city council vote. In Huntsville, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
City Council will also vote on a motion to put the City Detect vote on pause. City Detect would allow the city to put AI cameras on garbage trucks to help detect code violations. The vote has gained controversy over concerns with budgeting aspects, privacy issues, and how the video the cameras capture is stored. Also on today's City Council agenda, a major expansion for a museum dedicated to honoring veterans. A new 27,000 square foot building would give the U.S. Veterans Memorial Museum additional space to display some of their pieces of equipment. J.M. Phillips Engineering adds the project would also include parking and lighting. The museum director says this is a great opportunity for their mission. So yeah, Caleb, a lot on the budget tonight.
That's very true. I mean, I think majority of what I focused on today was the budget, and it seems like they're really expanding a lot of the operating, I don't know, costs. There are a lot of the operating funds for police and fire was the majority of what I got from today.
Yeah, I saw your breakdown of what would be allocated to what, and you mentioned that there was quite a percentage of increase in the budget compared to last year. And I'm wondering if the money that's being allocated to the police department, fire rescue is part of why we've seen that jump. But another big discussion are the AI cameras.
Yes.
Yes.
That's interesting to me. I did a little covering on that in college. Back when I was in Tuscaloosa, there was a program to start putting AI cameras on garbage trucks to kind of see blight in the city is what they called it, or property damage, things like that. It's an interesting concept for sure.
Yeah, it is, and it's definitely been a topic of discussion, which we'll continue to follow.
Oh, yes, we will.
Yes, thank you so much, Caleb.
Thank you.
All right, well, here's a live look. Whoa, this is from Governor's Drive, and we could really see the sun here. It's almost blinding the camera lens there, but it nonetheless a beautiful sight. Traffic below. Sky has opened up, different from what we've seen this past week. We're seeing some blue. Let's bring in Fox 54 meteorologist Jordan, some moments of sunshine today.
Yeah, we did get to enjoy a little bit of sunshine through the course of the afternoon. Kind of a nice change of pace compared to what we've been talking about over the last couple of days. Show you out over in Florence this evening because we are still talking about a little bit of rain in some locations, specifically over in northwest Alabama. This is a look at the Florence Harbor there at McFarland Park. Skies are gray, rain's falling. You can kind of see the rain falling there hitting the water. Temperature sitting in the upper 70s, right around 79 degrees. That rain is associated with a line of showers and thunderstorms continuing to push its way through northwest Alabama, Florence, down into Russellville. Maybe some pockets of heavier rain in Colbert County. That activity beginning to move into Lawrence County. Should begin to move into Limestone County here over the next several minutes. Is this going to have an impact on Thursday night football? Well, there's a chance. The good news, as this line of showers and thunderstorms continues to push its way to the east, is, well, it's weakening. So as it crosses the I-65 corridor, I also think it's really going to begin to fall apart. In the temperature department this evening, 72 at 7, 70 by 8, 68 by 9, 67 degrees by the time we get to 10 p.m. We're also going to continue to lose the humidity through the rest of the evening, and that's going to play really well for us as we head into Friday and the weekend. We'll discuss it in a few minutes.
A Gunnersville man now behind bars accused of possessing child porn, according to authorities. Gunnersville police arrested 22-year-old Christopher Beard Tuesday. According to the sheriff's office, an investigation led to a search warrant at a home on Baker's Chapel Lane, where police took evidence they say will be used in prosecution. Beard faces 5 counts of possession of child pornography and is held in the Marshall County Jail on a $250,000 bond. Man is back in the Morgan County Jail after Priceville police served arrest warrants for a traffic stop back in July, authorities say. Priceville police stopped Christopher Tennyson, pictured here, during a traffic stop on July 21st, where they say they found drugs along with multiple IDs and credit cards that didn't belong to him. The items were taken, but Tennyson wasn't arrested until an investigation could be conducted. Priceville police issued arrest warrants against Tennyson, which on August 30th, which were carried out yesterday. Tennyson is charged with trafficking in stolen identities and unlawful possession of a controlled substance, among other charges. The warrants were carried out at the Coleman County Jail, where Tennyson was already in custody. He was taken to the Morgan County Jail and is held on a $30,600 bond. A traveling veterinarian is behind bars accused of threatening to kill an Alabama mother who discovered he was having a sexual relationship with her 15-year-old daughter. Federal authorities say Gregory Ford sent threatening text messages to a Lauderdale County girl's mother. Court documents say that on September 23rd, the mother received a text from Ford saying, among other things, that, quote, "If you choose to continue your crusade, I have already paid a dear friend from the CIA to long rifle a bullet in your chest," end quote. Ford faces federal charges of threatening communication and could face other federal, state, and local charges as well. Ford is currently in jail in Florida on sexual assault and sexual battery charges. It's not clear if those charges are related to the Alabama case. Authorities identified a man who was struck and killed by a train in Hartselle yesterday. Morgan County Coroner Jeff Chun identified the driver as 91-year-old Franklin Turney. Hartselle police say the crash occurred around 5:30 yesterday afternoon when a car heading east near College Street and Chestnut Street was struck by a train and pushed about 800 yards down the tracks. Turney was taken to the hospital where he passed away. Alabama set to execute a man convicted of killing a woman during a 1997 gas station robbery. Jeffrey West, scheduled to be executed tonight at William C. Hallman Correctional Facility in South Alabama. West was convicted of capital murder for the 1997 shooting death of Margaret Berry. However, one of Berry's sons urged Governor Kay Ivey to halt the execution and let West serve the rest of his life in prison. West's execution expected to be carried out using nitrogen gas. Alabama carried out the nation's first nitrogen gas execution last year. Prior to today, 6 people were executed using nitrogen gas, 5 in Alabama, 1 in Louisiana. The director of the Marshall Space Flight Center, we're learning, is stepping down, according to NASA Watch. In an email sent to staffers, Joseph Pelfrey says he would step out of the center director role, but continue to work with the agency. Pelfrey addressed his successor, saying, quote, "I leave you in capable hands with Ray Ann, Roger, and the entire center leadership team." Pelfrey didn't say why he was leaving his position. A new post office could be coming to Owens Cross Roads next year. The city announced that the U.S. Postal Service is in negotiations to purchase land for a new facility. The area has grown rapidly, and residents' concerns over the post office came to light in February last year, when pictures show boxes of mail outside in the rain and packages being unloaded from vans into the small facility. Local leaders say they will update the community as they learn more.
AI cameras are really just focused on the drivers. It's not focused on the students or the children.
Some school districts across the country considering integrating AI technology on buses to keep kids safe. We take a look. Huntsville International and TSA teaming up in an effort to allow military families to get through security hassle-free. We've got the details. Huntsville International Airport and TSA announced a new partnership to help those who serve get through the airport easier. The program, called Serve with Honor, Travel with Ease, will allow active duty members to enroll in the TSA PreCheck program for free. And according to TSA regional spokesperson Gervais Jobert, the move will allow for those enrolled in the program to move through lines quickly.
Uniformed military personnel and their families can move straight to the front of the line. PreCheck is a benefit all on its own. So if you register for PreCheck and you have the PreCheck status, you can take advantage of those lanes. They are no longer than a 10-minute wait, so they're always going to be faster than a standard lane. So that'll get you through quicker as well.
Very helpful. Well, spouses of active duty personnel can also receive a $25 discount if they are interested in joining TSA PreCheck. Oakwood University held a ribbon cutting today to celebrate the newly renovated Peters Music Building. Take a listen. Yeah, that was a sound of celebration. The reopening comes with big changes, including new programs like music therapy, double majors, and music pedagogy, all part of a plan to eventually transform Oakwood into a conservatory for music. Oakwood professor of musicology, Dr. Otley Chambers, says until now, the program felt like a displaced symphony, but now they finally have somewhere to go.
Oakwood University, a place where music doesn't just live, but it breathes. This is more than just a building. It's a sanctuary for sound. It's a home for harmony and a promise to future generations. Music is the literature of the heart.
Yeah, you could just see the happiness there. University President Gina Spivey Brown says the renovation marks a new era for Oakwood, one where music education can grow, inspire, and continue to hit all the right notes. The Rocket City is assisting in a major milestone, a recent launch that's studying space like never before. Details on that just ahead. And while our eyes are on the sky, how's weather tonight, Jordan?
Yeah, we're talking about some scattered showers and thunderstorms hanging out across northwest Alabama. The good news here, as this activity pushes to the east, it's gradually beginning to weaken. Will it impact Thursday night football? Well, we'll discuss that in just a couple of minutes.
Check this out. An effort to better understand the cosmic shield that surrounds the solar system is underway. It's called the heliosphere, and it's basically a big bubble that protects planets, including the Earth, from the cosmic radiation that surrounds the Milky Way. And a spacecraft tested extensively here in Huntsville is studying this shield. The NASA mission is called the Interstellar Mapping and Acceleration Probe, or IMAP. It will take a close look at how solar wind is formed and its reactions with the interstellar space around the heliosphere. The spacecraft underwent critical testing at Marshall Space Flight Center's X-ray facility, and that was earlier this year. Researchers say the IMAP will give scientists information that could help predict solar storms more accurately. Well, the Huntsville City Council is looking to pause a vote that would put AI cameras on garbage trucks. But a growing number of transportation companies in the United States are now looking to add AI to a different kind of vehicle, school buses. Fox's Evan Brown has more.
There are almost 500,000 school buses on the roads, transporting more than 25 million students. But a number of recent incidents are raising questions about whether those buses are safe, especially for the most vulnerable kids. Now, a growing number of companies are turning to technology like artificial intelligence to make sure transportation for special needs students goes smoothly and safely.
An individual that's distracted driving, whether that be a cell phone or even eating, if you can minimize or eliminate that type of risk.
Sunrise Transportation is a Chicago-based company using real-time surveillance, AI data processing, and targeted analysis to keep special needs kids safe. Their new fleet of buses includes real-time GPS tracking and 360-degree camera systems for onboard monitoring. And it's all powered by an AI system that can identify issues with drivers and passengers.
They can real-time turn on the camera to see if there is an issue and interject and help out if need be.
And some say these high-tech buses could become an industry standard, helping to make sure kids get to school safely without compromising personal privacy.
The AI cameras are really just focused on the drivers. It's not focused on the students or the children. And so because of that, there isn't any privacy concerns from the school districts.
The market for AI use in school transportation is growing quickly. It is expected to be worth $5 billion by 2032. In Miami, Eben Brown, Fox News.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the FOX54 Weather Impact Team.
We have a live look from Montesano. Ooh, beautiful sky. It just almost looks like nature's paintbrush, which I love.
Yes, we're really getting to that point in the year where we're getting to look at these views outside within like 10 or 20 minutes of sunset. And so I'm going to enjoy that while we can, because I think that's when the sky looks the prettiest.
Yeah, and today was a better day to go hiking, right?
Yeah, I would agree. Today was a better day outside. We actually got to enjoy a little bit of sunshine, but of course all good things must come to an end, and that good thing came to an end very quickly for some of us over the last couple of hours. A line of showers and thunderstorms has been pushing its way through northwest Alabama for about the last 45 minutes or so, now beginning to push its way out of Florence, beginning to push its way out of Russellville, really beginning to move into Lawrence County. We're going to begin to see this activity push its way into Limestone County here over the next several minutes. Within this line of showers and thunderstorms, we're talking about some pockets of heavier rain, maybe a little bit of thunder, maybe a little bit of lightning. As this activity has continued to push its way to the east, it's really begun to weaken and fall apart, and I think it's going to continue to do so as it actually crosses the I-65 corridor, probably within the next half hour or 45 minutes. So will this have an impact on Thursday night football? Potentially a small impact for some, but it's not going to be a large impact, especially if you're east of the I-65 corridor and going to one of those games, because like I said, as this activity pushes its way to the east, it's gradually weakening. Temperatures this evening, 72 at 7, 70 by 8, 68 by 9, 67 degrees by the time we get to 10 p.m. I wanted to take a look at the drought monitor. This just came out today, and if you just look at the drought monitor and put no additional thought into it, you would kind of figure out that the drought conditions have kind of worsened across the Tennessee Valley. The abnormally dry conditions have kind of expanded, and now we're talking about moderate drought conditions across Limestone and Madison County, southern portions of Coleman County, and we're talking about moderate drought conditions across northern Lauderdale County and Colbert County. But there's more to this. The current drought monitor is actually a bit misleading. Let me tell you why. The drought monitor was actually created at 7 a.m. Central Time on Tuesday. Now, that's kind of interesting and kind of important because the rain did not begin across the area until 9 a.m. on Tuesday. That means the current drought monitor that was just released this morning was actually created before all of the rain started across the Tennessee Valley, and some of us have seen a great deal of it. So it'll be next week's drought monitor that takes into account the rain that we've seen this week, and some of us have seen a significant amount of rain, especially up across southern Middle Tennessee, across portions of Limestone and Madison counties, across different portions of northeast Alabama. 2, 3, 4. Locally, some folks have seen 5 or 5.5 inches of rain over the last 72 hours. Now, the rain chances are going to begin to drop off as we head into the weekend, and then they're going to stay somewhat low as we head into the early and middle part of next week. Still holding on to the chance for a couple of isolated showers as we head into your Friday afternoon. That activity could stick with us through 3:30, 4, 5 o'clock, early into the evening. But then by the time we get to Friday night football, the chance of rain is going to drop off somewhat significantly. And then we're actually going to lose some of the cloud cover as we head into the overnight and then early into Saturday morning. Through Saturday afternoon, a couple of isolated, widely scattered showers are going to be possible, specifically across northeast Alabama. But that activity doesn't stick around either, and we're going to be clear by the time we get to Saturday night and then early into Sunday morning. 80 degrees right now in Huntsville, 80 degrees in Coleman, 78 in Fayetteville, up in southern Middle Tennessee. We actually do a pretty good job at cooling off as we head into the overnight. I've got a low temperature right around 63 degrees. Have a good look at the next 7 days. 80 degrees on Friday, 81, 83 Saturday, Sunday. The weekend is going to be beautiful across the area. We get to enjoy plenty of sunshine, and temperatures are actually going to be a couple of degrees below average. Quite nice. 85 on Monday, 83 Tuesday, and then the lower 80s with opportunities for rain next Wednesday and Thursday.
One of the biggest games in the nation features Alabama and Georgia again. We'll find out how the Bulldogs are preparing for the Crimson Tide next in sports.
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
Once again, the marquee matchup of the weekend in the SEC is between Alabama and Georgia. We've already heard from Kalen DeBoer and the Crimson Tide, but what about Kirby Smart and the Bulldogs who reside in the Peach State? Let's go behind enemy lines with our sister station from WXIA.
Anytime you get two elite programs going head to head, it results in some good games that we've all seen in the past.
Well, some games on the schedule will just be more, and this week the Dogs welcome the Alabama Crimson Tide right here to Athens for another round of this heated matchup, which has seen the Crimson Tide win 9 of these last 10 games. And head coach Kirby Smart and the players might say it is just another game, but as we all know, it is anything but that.
Definitely saw the atmosphere and the passion of the guys playing in the game on both sides of the ball, and I saw how much it really meant to both teams. So, just taking that fire and taking that energy that we had going into the season, going a chance to go out there in Sanford Stadium and make something happen.
Being at home is an advantage, just as I say going on the road is hard. At the end of the day, you got to go play football, and it comes down to matchups. It comes down to who blocks and tackles the best, who executes and does things in the key moments of the game. So certainly glad it's at home, but we still got to play well.
And last season, the Dogs almost completed the comeback in Tuscaloosa, but would end up falling short. Georgia is going to rely heavily on quarterback Gunnar Stockton, who could be the first Georgia quarterback in the Kirby Smart era to win his first start against Bama. Of course, we won't know until Saturday when these two teams do battle. In Athens, covering the Dogs, I'm Marcus Greaves.
We'll have highlights Saturday evening and a full wrap Sunday night on Sports Extra. That'll do it for sports on Fox 54. I'm Mo Carter.
Coming up tonight at 9, a government shutdown looms in the nation's capital, and now federal agencies are being warned. We get updates on this. And back in Huntsville, the city council expected to vote on a major budget for next year. We'll fill you in on the details from tonight's meeting and what was approved. And an Alabama man recently became a record holder for something that took years to grow, and he's in the record books. We'll get to meet tonight. Before we let you go, one social media platform hits a huge milestone. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg says Instagram now has 3 billion monthly users. The social media app joins the ranks of Facebook and WhatsApp in terms of monthly users. This comes almost 4 years after Instagram reportedly hit 2 billion monthly users. Instagram says it also is gearing to run tests in India and South Korea that will default users to Reels. I would say I'm one of those more active IG users.
I wish I was a better Instagrammer.
Why?
I don't consider myself very good at the caption creating when it comes to Instagram. And then, I take a picture and I find it interesting, hence the reason I took it.